Home Wizards here. I'm Cindy Dole.
Stromer. Hey, I'm Eric. There I am. Where am I?
And, I mean, wasn't it chilly to you this morning? Didn't
It was.
feel?
It was. It's that kind of feeling, too, where you get up and you don't want to get out of the bed because it's so cozy. I love that. Yeah.
Like you even want to put the covers over your nose.
I know. But then you know what happens?
What?
Willow starts poking at me. My daughter, a little 5-year-old, starts whacking me in the head. And
Or my sheepdogs get on.
Have you ever had your eyes pried open?
No.
This happens to me every day, pretty much. My eyes are pried open by some child in my home.
That sounds really lovely.
And then while they're doing that, they're going, "Dad!" And they're prying your eyes open. That's how I wake up every morning.
Well, so I guess that is an incentive to get out of bed, because even if it is cold, hurry up and get the coffee. But, I think it's fireplace season. Don't you think?
It really is, yeah.
So help us, Eric Stromer. We want to get the fire started. We want it to be safe. How do we get it, staged?
Well, here's what you have to do. First of all, you want to have a chimney sweep come in at least once every year or two. Yeah, you really do. Because what happens is when you burn fires, if it's a wood-burning fireplace, what's going to creosote is the byproduct of burning wood, and that builds up inside the fireplace itself, and it can actually be flammable and cause some problems down the road. So you definitely want to at least get somebody in there to look at your fireplace, make sure that all the brick within the fireplace itself is not leaking, no mortars come out, and clean that creosote off, because that's an issue down the road. Want to make sure that flue is operating properly, and you know how to operate it. Make sure it's open, as obviously when the fire's on. You're going to know right away if it's not, because your house gets really smoky and you want to die.
Have you ever had rats try to make their way from the fireplace into your home in the chimney?
I've had my share of rats in my home, because my kids always leave the doors open, but not through the fireplace. No. Have you had that experience?
I think we have.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been signs of it, not lately, but that always kind of creeps me out, that as you're getting ready for the new season, like what
some rodent is going to drop into your house.
What are you going to discover in there, Yeah.
No, I know. And so, when it comes to that, you want to cap the chimney. You want to make sure that you have wire mesh on the sides and then a solid top to cover the chimney, keep it from raining in there, and then animals and stuff coming.
You mean raining
down.
men?
It's raining men. Hallelujah.
Now, that could be okay. I wouldn't mind that.
Well, it's in your world, sure. Yeah.
In your world.
As far as what to burn in fireplaces, I love really nice seasoned hardwoods.
Well, you like pine cones, you were saying.
Well, yeah, I do love the pine cones.
You wouldn't put that in your fireplace, though.
Well, I do. Occasionally
Really?
I'll do one little one, and it just, you get that nice smell in the house. But the good news with seasoned hardwoods, stuff that's been drying out for at least 6 months, you want it up off the ground in a nice dry area. It'll burn evenly, and it'll really be beautiful and fragrant. So.
Now, my dad used to put newspaper in the fireplace. That's a no-no, isn't it?
Sure is, because all that those little embers can start floating around.
I don't know what he was thinking.
Those can even get through the wire mesh screen sometimes, so you want to be careful.
So
kindling is best. some small amount of wood, and or even some of those gas logs aren't bad if you use one, and then have the not gas logs, but the ones that are saturated with the combustible
the juices.
Material. The juices, the fire juice.
The fire juice from the fire gods. I always worry about our tree growth over our chimney. And don't you think
good reason.
We need to trim that before we even get into
Absolutely.
This. Yeah.
Because, the spark arresters can only do so much. And the spark arresters are those caps I was talking about before that go on top of the fireplace. But sometimes embers do come out. And if there's too much overgrowth around that area, you could definitely cause a fire. So you
won't have embers come out if it's a gas fire, would you?
Absolutely not. No,
yeah. So it's just the
wood-burning fireplace. But you do want to check it out and make sure that it's safe. There's also great services that'll come out and put cameras up into the chimney too.
Right.
And they'll be able to check and see if there's any damage to the interior of the firebox. So take a look at that. And then the other thing to think about is that when you're building a fire, you don't want too much wood in there. You don't want to make it so overwhelmingly large that the fire is pouring out of the front of the fireplace. You know what I mean? Be sensible about this.
Yeah, this is not a competition.
It's not. And the smaller the fire, the less creosote that's going to build up each time you have a fire. So you can really get away with a couple logs, and that should do it. Just don't make one of those crazy Eric Stromer fires.
Now, do you have a gas fireplace?
I had
or both?
I had a wood-burning fireplace, and I converted to gas because some of the new designs where they look like real wood-burning fireplaces are so great and it's so easy that I just went with that system. I just think it's, they even have material that looks like embers are glowing underneath the fake logs. And I just think it's a lot easier in terms of maintenance, and it's on-off switch, and you're done. So unless you are really somebody that's going to spend time cleaning that chimney out once every year or two and really service the inside of the firebox, then maybe you want to think about one of these gas conversions.
Have you ever done a comparison to see if a wood-burning fireplace warms up the home more than a gas burning?
Well, I can tell you right now that a potbelly stove is one of the more efficient forms of heating your entire house there is. So wood burning will absolutely kick butt when it comes to efficiency. But have you ever seen one of these potbelly stoves? Yeah, they're amazing. They use them a lot on the East Coast and in the northern climates. They work great. Yeah. So wood burning fireplace or potbelly stove absolutely is a heat source. A gas fire really isn't. I mean, if you're sitting right there a foot away,
it's really more just for the mood, right?
Yeah, it's decorative.
Or if you're right there on top of it.
And I'll say there's nothing like the mood in the fire. Oh yeah. Yes, little Nat King Cole, a nice fire. Come on. Daddy's home.
Daddy's home.
Am I right?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about some of the things we can do to make it look pretty, too, because we want it to not only be cozy and safe, but with our fireplace, we had this brass cover that looked so 70s.
Bill, bless his heart, did an amazing job on that, didn't he? Tell him what they did.
He got some Rust-Oleum spray paint, and it was kind of in a metallic black, and now it just kind of disappears into the wall that's painted a pretty taupe color, and what a difference. It looks brand new.
I would have to say night and day.
Yeah.
It looks
and
great.
that was nothing.
I don't like the brass stuff on the fire.
And I don't know why we didn't
cheesy.
Why we didn't think of changing that. It wasn't top of mind. But now, wow, so much better. So what are some of the things? Let's say we want a mantle. Can we get a mantle?
Yes. Now mantles are generally over-mounted. They're decorative. There's no structure involved in them. They're just placed around the existing
it's like molding,
fireplace.
Right?
It really is. It's like trim or crown molding. So you can pretty much do anything you can think of. I've done them where I've taken 12 by 12 beams and carved them to look like naturally occurring wood.
Wow,
that's a really beautiful look. And then you just put some beeswax or some wax finish over it, and it looks great. You can do that. You can get a piece of old material that you found somewhere and repurpose it. Same
salvaged.
Kind of thing. Salvaged, yeah. You can buy, there are a ton of salvage yards all over Los Angeles that sell these old, beautiful mantles.
Like the Pasadena mantles, right?
Yes. So that's worth a shot.
Neat.
You can either refinish them yourself or just have them look beat up and put some kind of clear coat over them. It's kind of your design style. And then if you want, a lot of times what I'll do too is I'll if someone has an old brick fireplace that they don't really like the look of, you can cover that over in cement and make it smooth coat.
That's what we did.
Yeah.
We drywalled it.
You could drywall over it. As long as you're, 12 inches from the fire box, you're okay. And then when it comes to the hearth, there's so much you can do there. You can do solid stone, you can do tile, you can do brick, whatever your fancy is. There's so many design styles that can come into play in that scenario. But again, I will say, when it comes to your fireplace, it's probably the best idea to keep it in the architectural sensibility of the home. You don't want to have like an old Victorian.
We don't want like a Tex-Mex.
No. Exactly.
Arizona look when we're living in a colonial.
There you go. Thank you. And that's the same with fencing. That's the same with your front door.
Yeah.
You always want to sort of honor the style that the architect had in mind when he designed the house.
Fun. Well, we're gonna put these ideas on the website. If you go to yourhomewizards.com, these are some really cool suggestions.
Yeah,
I mean,
great.
they're things we can do.
Absolutely.
Right?
Very, very simple to do.
But first things first, make sure that you have that everything, the flue is set, and
if it's a wood burning fireplace, your enemy is the creosote buildup. So just make sure you have somebody come and clean it every now and then. Please.
Watch out and get those chimney sweeps.
Do it.
Get a little Dick Van Dyke over,
Do a little tap dance on the roof with a lady with an umbrella flying around.
Well, hope you had fun hanging out with us today, because we will have more fun in the coming weeks as we get you geared up for Christmas. Just go to yourhomewizards.com. In the meantime, email us. Let us know what you'd love us to talk about. Your chance to win one of Eric's CDs called Fix It Man. And we're going to be emailing that to the first 10 people. And
I may even come over and do a live performance
You might.
with somebody.
I think
it just
it'd be
depends
great.
how I feel.
I think your voice is a lot like this guy that we're going to be saying goodbye right now with, Robert Downey Jr. I love this song.
Love him.
So have a great weekend, and remember this, the key is under the mat. Bye-bye, everybody.